This information might shock you. While cats are generally treated decently worldwide, the Australian government is offering $10 for the scalp of an adult cat. Hold off on judgment for a moment. You'll understand why soon. They're also willing to pay $15.50 for a fox scalp. Furthermore, they'll pay $10 for a feral pig scalp. Dingoes fetch the highest price at $120 each. Even kangaroos can earn you around $18. But what's the reason behind this? Let's find out after hitting the amazing like button. Let's dive in. Every year, the government has to spend a whopping $25 billion just to get rid of pests. Cats top the list of unwanted animals, costing $18.8 billion. In Australia, you can get $10 for each cat head, specifically the feral ones. So Australians are strongly advised against letting their pets roam outside. According to estimates, wild cats in Australia kill around 750,000 birds every day, and offering rewards for their heads has been seen as a response to the explosive growth in population. Cats cover 99.8% of the continent's territory, with a population of 6.3 million individuals, roughly one cat for every 1.5 square miles. All these cats pose a deadly threat to local species that evolved without feline predators and have no idea how to defend against them. That's why the government has already invested millions in programs to control the wild cat population. Surprisingly, the price tag for feral pigs is the same as for cats, $10 each. Wild pigs cover 45% of Australia's land, and the Invasive Species Council estimates their population ranges between 2 and 4 million depending on the season. They cost the agricultural sector $106.5 million annually, not to mention the environmental damage leading to biodiversity loss. Plus, they spread deadly diseases. Basically, it's not the kind of neighbors you'd want to have. In October 2021, the National Feral Pig Action Plan proposed using multiple approaches to manage their numbers, including shooting, baiting, trapping, and fencing. Scientists have found that at least 70% of the pig population needs to be culled to prevent it from bouncing back too quickly. It's a lot of work. The main aim of all these measures is to significantly reduce the population of wild pigs and keep it at that level in the long term. The problem is that this isn't a one-and-done deal. Right now, there are so many pigs in Australia that people simply can't afford to stop. Otherwise, they'll rebound and we'll have to start all over again. The Invasive Species Council indeed believes funding amateur hunters with taxpayer dollars is just throwing money away. Shooting from the air is generally the most effective way to deal with a large number of pigs. But let's face it, it's pretty expensive. On average, it's about $4,000 for a half-day session, covering helicopter rental, fuel, and ammo. The upside: in one 5-hour session, roughly 431 pigs are eliminated across an area of more than 20 square miles. Also, the government puts the bill for these shoots. Cane-toed creatures are invasive pests that can multiply like crazy in a very short time. Estimates suggest that there are already 200 million of these toads in Australia. They're a real threat to about 75 local species because they're toxic. Aussie animals try to munch on them, but end up getting poisoned. Plus, these toads are eating everything in sight. Back in 2019, Australian Senator Pauline Hanson floated the idea of paying people to get rid of cane toads. She proposed a rate of 10 Australian cents per toad. For the third year in a row, Australians living in areas where the cane toads thrive are being asked to join an effort to get rid of them. The initiative is led by a non-profit environmental group called Water Gum. The basic kit includes gloves, a bucket, and a flashlight. Last year's festival saw a group of people snagging more than 2,700 toads, claiming the unofficial first place. And in a single week, people cleared out more than 50,000 cane toads from the wild. Experts recommend collecting toads at night. They also recommend humanely euthanizing them through a painless method called stepwise hypothermia. This involves placing the toads in a container with breathing holes and then putting them in the refrigerator for about 24 hours. After that, they're transferred to the freezer for at least another 24 hours. If you don't want to keep bags of toads in your fridge, there are points where you can drop them off. Now let's talk about dingoes and their hybrids with dogs. They're the priciest animals you can hunt down under the Australian government's permission, costing $120 per head. Compared to toads, it's like hitting the jackpot. It's especially weird when you think about how hunting dingoes is such a hot topic among animal lovers. Some people say dingoes are feral dogs wreaking havoc in Australia and need to be dealt with to protect farm animals. Others reckon dingoes have been living on the continent for ages, making them a legit part of the local ecosystem. And when we say ages, we're talking a minimum of 4,000 years, maybe even longer, potentially over 7,000 years, according to some reports. Killing dingoes in Australia has become acceptable since European ranchers began farming on this continent 2 centuries ago. Originally, it was seen as just a routine and necessary way of managing things. Then, in the 20th century, environmentalists and nature advocates argued that dingoes should be protected, leading to debates. Nonetheless, the Australian government has invested millions in dingo control programs, actively employing poisonings, trapping, and nevertheless, psychologists claim these measures are futile. Dingoes continue to prey on sheep and goats, and attempts to manage their population only exacerbate the problem. Right now, amateur hunters are allowed to take down dominant dingo hybrids on vast territories beyond state zones with bounties. That means they can't shoot pure dingoes. But what's happening is, hunters can legally shoot what they call wild dogs, many of which are dingoes, and then pass them off as hybrids to claim a bounty. And they get a hefty reward for it. This whole thing just makes the situation even more contentious. Killing pure dingo dogs isn't as odd as kangaroos. They pay $18 for every killed kangaroo. Can you believe it? They claim that they kill dingoes to protect local species, yet they're the ones culling them. That's absurd. Nevertheless, kangaroos are hunted in 6 Australian states for their hides and meat, and also because they're seen as pests on farms. But that's just one part of the problem. According to the government and wildlife experts, certain types of kangaroos are just too numerous, and it's essential to cull them to keep their population in check and avoid animal suffering, particularly when they compete with domestic livestock for food and water, especially during dry spells. According to the Environment Minister, it's necessary to keep a check on kangaroo numbers to protect other species that are at risk of disappearing. Government programs state that licensed hunters are compensated for every pound of kangaroo they hunt, and the meat, hides, and skins are processed for export to approximately 70 countries. Kangaroos are hunted at night using lights to blind them before shooting. 1 shot equals 1 kill, no exceptions. Afterward, the bodies are taken to a processing center where they're examined, treated, and readied for sale. Is there another way to control the population without resorting to killings? There actually is one. Sometimes they just catch kangaroos and neuter them. But these procedures are really expensive, and according to scientists, this method just won't cut it on a large scale. Should taxpayers' money be wasted getting rid of invasive animals or not? If your answer is yes, so do you accept killing some cute animals such as cats and kangaroos to get some dollars? Tell me your thoughts below in the comments. And don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed our video. See you very soon with a new episode.